everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies and TV shows and video games and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today, and with me per usual are two of your other hosts, Devin and Brian. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
It is I.
We are here. We have gathered here today. No.
You gonna preach to us? What's going on there? What's
I think
happening?
I'm starting to milk the hello thing because you guys brought that to my attention of why is your voice so weird when you do that? I was like, well, I'm just going to double down on it.
No, man, we love the NPO.
Hello.
Yeah, just get in. Yeah. Yeah. You guys ready to? Should we just hop right into our first segment of the week?
Oh,
Let's do it. I love news.
Wait, first of all, before we start the news, are we all on team fuck Jake Gyllenhaal? Are we all about that?
Red Taylor's version.
I've been lost this past weekend, but I did hear brief stuff, so I have no idea. I have no opinion on the matter.
We already learned the man doesn't wash his ass, so I'm already kind of like, Jakey Jake, my boy Jake.
He kept your scarf, you gotta. I feel like you get to just let him keep the scarf now because he doesn't like to shower. So
maybe you should tell the listeners what you're talking about here for people that might be lost on the Taylor Swift
because I don't
re-release.
even fully know what you're talking about.
Taylor Swift dropped the 10-minute version of All Too Well that came with a 15-minute short film. Debuted on YouTube on the same night on Friday.
Yeah, with that short
My
film.
girlfriend was we had to analyze the lyrics and watch it. And but anyway, it was basically about her time when she dated Jake Gyllenhaal when she was 20 and he was 29. And it set the world on fire, set the internet on fire. Jake Gyllenhaal might never be able to show his face in public again.
Yeah, okay.
My man's crying right now because Taylor Swift said he's stupid.
Oh man, I really wish I gave a shit. That's funny. Well, thanks for that prelude into the news.
Yeah, that's some pre-news. I love it.
All right. Let's jump into some actual news.
News talk.
Disney Plus Day. This was this past weekend. So Disney released a bunch of interesting new things from Star Wars and Marvel and all their other properties. So we're just going to hit some of the highlights of stuff that we talk about. Mm-hmm. Probably not any of the Pixar stuff because whatever, who cares? So let's start with Star Wars because there's mostly just one news thing about Star Wars. They released some concept art in a sizzle reel for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And one particular piece of concept art made people freak out a bit was Obi-Wan Kenobi fighting Darth Vader. Full geared up Darth Vader. And it seems like we're getting round 2 of their fight and in this show at some point. And maybe that's why Hayden's coming back. I'd like to see it.
Oh, I love it. That's kind of weird that him coming back. I still don't understand what role he's going to play as him potentially not being the voice, him not being the body, the stunt double, who never showing his face. What is he going to do? What is this man going to do in this movie?
I'm assuming he's going to fight
in this show.
I'm assuming he fought in that was mostly the two of them fighting in episode 3.
And not doubles or anything?
That was them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They worked their ass off, busted each other's knuckles a million times rehearsing and that shit. So,
well, that's cool.
I'm assuming that's a huge thing. If that were to happen, that adds another element to when they meet again in A New Hope. So that's interesting.
So but that means that Obi-Wan's going to kick his ass again.
I'd love to see it.
I don't know, man. That last fight, though.
Because, he's going to be like, now I am the master.
You'll never strike me down.
If that's the case, that would also indicate that Obi-Wan is definitely leaving Tatooine. Because they can't have this fight on Tatooine, or else Vader would just be like, well, I know where you are, and I'm just going to come back again.
He's got to leave, which I kind of like it. Maybe it'll be a little Obi-Wan mini adventure out somewhere. That would be cool. I think as long as the choreographers from the sequels don't have anything to do with this fight, then that's all I care about.
Yeah, me and Brian were talking about that for a quick second before we started recording. That we hope that they go back to episode 3 with this fight, even though Vader is in the suit where he's a little slower. But we've seen from Rogue One, he can still kick ass in that big lumbering suit. He can still be quick. So I want speedy lightsaber fight again.
I love good choreography.
Even the little kind of the kind of waving it around a little bit fight from the original New Hope. I would rather see that than any of the things that they did in the sequels, all right?
They were swinging that shit like baseball bats, dude. They were swinging for the fences in that movie.
They were, yeah.
Even when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in A New Hope were just kind of dink, dink, kind of dinking each other, I'd rather see that. than anything to do with like
I want to
anything
see
close to
them
the sequels.
swinging their lightsabers for 30 seconds straight again without actually touching the other person.
Parry, 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 or mental parrying.
Well, no, guys, it's not that they're just being fancy. It's because they actually can like predict each other's moves in their mind so much.
I don't care what the fuck they do. They look cool as shit.
Yeah, I love it. I'm into it. I want to see this.
Just people try to justify it so much. But yeah.
I guess because like if they can't do the Maul story, because spoilers, they did it in Rebels. If they can't do that Obi-Wan Maul fight, I guess this is the next best thing to do is give us him Vader again, which is pretty sweet. So
Love it.
I was already excited to see this show. Now I'm even more excited to see this show now. So
Yeah.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, moving on to the Marvel stuff. We got a couple first glimpses from Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel. They put like a little Disney Plus 2021 special on Disney Plus on this past Friday, and at the very end, in like the last like 3 minutes, they just kind of sizzled through their new shows coming up, and so we saw a little bit of footage from it, mostly from New Moon Knight, with Oscar Isaac. He's got a really weird accent in it. He's got an English accent, but he just sounds really goofy and weird. So that's gonna take some adjustment there.
We'll see how that goes.
But
Ooh.
it looks good. He looks brutal. Like there's a point where you see a shot from behind of Moon Knight just beating the shit out of some dude on the ground, like very, very Batman in the new Batman trailer. And it's like, oh, fuck, this is gonna be brutal.
Wait, and Oscar Isaac is going to be Moon Knight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My man is getting work, bro. Let's go.
That's going to be like the goofiest role I've ever seen Oscar Isaac in, I think. Because like
Right.
Moon Knight is supposed to be kind of like goofy, right? Like kind of weird. And
Well, no. I guess depends what you say is goofy. He's kind of like Marvel's Batman in the sense that except he just wears white instead. He's just like he has like a psychological disorder, I think.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And so he like becomes this vigilante that beats the shit out of people at night type of thing.
Is that not Batman?
Yeah,
Does
exactly.
Batman not also have a psychological disorder? Beats up people at night?
Exactly. Right.
I've seen like memes of him like where he'll be like, throwing like moon stars and he'll be like random bullshit go. Or like one where he's like fighting Dracula and it's like, where are you, Dracula, you big fat bitch, or something like that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that's another thing that a lot of people are thinking that maybe Blade and or another character from Eternals, which I won't spoil because not all of us have seen it, might show up in that show and vice versa or something. And they're establishing more of this like dark Marvel universe with vampires and a bunch of other shit, which is hilarious to think about. But yeah.
I'm looking at screen caps of Miss Marvel right now. Is it supposed to be that she made her own costume? Because this shit looks
yes.
dumb as hell, bro. She looks so stupid. Jesus Christ, the helmet is so goofy.
She's a kid, but yeah, absolutely.
She's endearing. I like that. Good
it
for
looks
her.
cute. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I hope, because there's a line where she says, like something, brown girls from Jersey City don't really make heroes type of thing, something along those lines. I don't exactly remember the quote. So it seems like they're going to tackle some like I can't. My brain just melted.
You tried
I can't
your
think of trying to think of the word. I'm
Stereotypes,
trying to think of.
discrimination.
Yeah, or just stuff like that when it comes to
racism.
Thank you. I was like, what is
People
the
of color
word?
being underrepresented.
What's the word when they hate me because the color of my skin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with She-Hulk, we got a glimpse of her. We saw some green.
Only screen cap I see right now is a green leg. And why am I like, I'm interested. Like, that's gross. That's weird. I feel weird about
It is a little weird. Yeah, there's another shot of her in a dress, but also you see is a leg again as well. So yes, we have not yet to see her head or her face. So I don't know if she's going to be like CG'd like regular Hulk. I don't know. Because we do see Smart Hulk is back.
Yeah.
So
Smart Hulk.
which is going to be interesting considering Mark Ruffalo, the last time we saw Bruce Banner, he was not Smart Hulk. Like,
Right.
spoilers for when we get to Shang-Chi and the post credits, whatever, it doesn't matter. He's not Smart Hulk, so I guess he can just go back and forth. So
Do you
I don't
think
know.
there's actually a reason for that? Or like was he just like were they just lazy and we're like, well, we don't really want to do the CGI for this post credit scene?
That's what I would
That's
imagine.
what I'm thinking too. They're like, we don't want to waste all that money for this. They'll get the gist of it.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
fans have to like ask all these questions like, oh well, he can just jump back and forth whenever he wants to now. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's interesting.
money.
But I don't know. I'm excited for. I think out of all three of these, I'm probably more excited for Moon Knight and She-Hulk than Ms. Marvel. But I'm still gonna see them all.
Moon Knight will be
obviously,
cool. Like if they do it right, it could be kind of fun. But I feel like Oscar Isaac, I haven't really known him to have like a very big comedic range. I don't know what
Yeah,
have
I
you
don't
guys
know.
ever seen him be funny?
I think it can be kind of like charismatically charming.
Yeah.
I don't know about funny, but yeah, he'll probably be fine.
Mhm.
Listen, if John Cena can do it, it can't be so hard, right? Sorry,
True.
John
Yeah.
Cena. You're a great guy,
True.
I'm sure.
And then they just kind of dropped a shit ton of like logos for new shows, and some of those new shows were Spider-Man Freshman Year, which was an animated show coming up. It's gonna be like Spider-Man's origin. So we're finally gonna see we're gonna see Spider-Man's origin again, except this version of it.
Oh
Finally,
my
I've wanted to
god.
see his origin story for
Right.
so long.
I have no idea what it could have been before.
Uncle Bill, no. Like,
Are they? I hope they like throw in the goofy like Marvel like translation of "with great power comes great responsibility." Like remember that from
Yeah, I
Civil War? It's like
know.
when the bad things happen and you don't do something and you could have,
Right.
then they happen. They happen because of you. It's like,
That's on
is
you.
that just like what did this kid even say just now? I want
Yeah.
that exact same conversation with Uncle Ben.
but before listeners come for me, yeah, I meant to say Uncle Ben, and I said Uncle Bill.
I was gonna say,
I don't want nobody
should
to come
I?
for
Should...
me.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Who knows if Tom Holland's gonna do the voice at all? But sure, why not? I guess.
That's the only thing I'm interested in out of these three is Spider-Man. I'm not super interested in Agatha or Marvel Zombies. I'll say it right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the other ones were Agatha, House of Harkness, and Marvel's Zombies. So I guess Agatha is gonna take place in that town when she's under a spell. Like I don't know what the
I
hell
don't
is gonna
know.
be this
It's
show gonna
weird.
be about.
I didn't need more of that. I don't think. I don't have an interest in
No.
it.
I think it'll be like leading up to that. Like it'll probably end when she's there, but like it'll probably go more into that like that witch thing when she was like
Maybe.
the prequel
Yeah.
thing.
I don't need it. It feels like they're just like make a show. People latched onto this character for a tiny bit. Make a show about it. Like
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what it feels like to me. I'm not super.
Some of these feel like the reaches, but whatever.
And I don't like Marvel Zombies. We talked about
And
this
then Marvel
yeah,
Zombies.
in the What
yeah.
If episode.
Maybe
I
like
was
a
not
mini
into it.
series of like 5 episodes max, but like a whole show. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I do wonder how they're gonna do it, because like we talked about last time, like the regular Marvel Zombies comic, they can talk, like they're not normal zombies, like they're
Mm,
smart still, and they keep their intelligence. They're just zombies, and so
yeah,
I don't
that's
know if they're gonna
dumb.
try to autocorrect it for this, or if it's just gonna be like a Walking Dead Marvel Zombies type of world. In
Oh
which case, I don't
god.
know if I want to see
So it's
that
just gonna be a
entirely.
lot of Avengers just walking through the woods and
Yeah,
doing nothing,
yeah,
fucking 6 hours.
A lot of stupid characterization of characters that are
getting
gonna
jump
die. A zombie's gonna
scares.
get a sneak up on them
Oh god.
despite screaming.
Yeah, and maybe it's a prequel because it can't be a sequel. Because last time we saw Thanos as a zombie, and he's gonna kill everyone. So it can't.
Right.
I don't know. And then one of the other big ones that we didn't know about was Echo, which is she is gonna be a character in the Hawkeye series. So before she even
Ooh,
debuts on Hawkeye, she's getting a spinoff. Which cool,
that would be
I
cool.
guess. Sure. Hopefully, we like the character when she appears in Hawkeye.
Oh, that'd be really unfortunate if Echo makes us
That
hate
would
the
suck.
character before we even get to see the character.
They're just
That would be funny.
I'm just throwing everything out there. We also got an image, slash slight video of Nick Fury from the Secret Invasion series, and he's got no eye patch, and he's got a beard, and he looks grizzled and battered as fuck.
Right. Jesus
And
Christ.
he's looking real rough. So I don't know what's happening in that. Yeah, they really didn't give you much for for Disney Plus. They're like,
Yeah.
this is all we're gonna show you.
I mean, this
right
felt like they
now."
had an earnings call or like
Yeah.
some kind of meeting with some shareholders coming up pretty soon, and they need to get
Right.
people excited
Yeah.
to keep
Yeah.
their stock. Something
Throwing
like
some
Right.
scraps to the crowd.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing they did show that I'm very excited for was X-Men 97.
Hell
This
yeah,
Ooh.
dude.
This
I
looks awesome.
loved this was like one of the main shows I really watched growing up when it came to like animated series for Marvel stuff was
Mhm.
X-Men in the 90s.
Oh,
so-
I hope they keep that theme song, bro. Yes,
Also, the
please.
meme that they use from Twitter is hilarious. I love they use the meme with Wolverine looking at the picture.
Oh,
That's such a good meme.
They're one of the best memes all time. Top
Yeah.
10, I think. But yeah.
So it seems like they say it's gonna be a continuation of that series, which
Oh hell yeah.
that sounds dope. They got or at least most of the original voice actors coming back, along with some other ones. I know Jennifer Hale's going to join this show.
Let's
Whoa.
fucking go.
Yeah, that's kind of dope. Especially this is like, I feel like this is Marvel's like first big X-Men thing
Right.
since they got the
Mhm.
X-Men.
Since
So
they got it.
That theme song
Um,
be slapping, dude.
if they change that theme song, I will riot. I will riot. That's one of the best theme songs of
Oh,
all
they still got the
time.
rights to that.
Yeah, they got
Right.
to.
So that's pretty dope. Very excited. And then they flashed a bunch of other logos. They flashed I Am Groot again. The Guardians Holiday Special still happening. What If Season 2? So Season 2 is happening. Loki Season 2, the new logo for Ironheart, and then Armor Wars. Yeah. But all stuff we all already knew about. So we just covered the stuff that was new to us for the most part. Some other random stuff they talked about. They're doing a Predator prequel called Prey, but it's gonna come to Hulu in 2022, which already sounds like a bad sign to me. If it's going straight to Hulu.
Yeah, straight to Hulu. We're not even gonna try.
Not excited about that.
The last Predator movie
I've never been a huge Alien or Predator fan, Alien vs. Predator, none of that stuff. So
Oh,
I
really?
probably won't even watch it.
Yeah,
But-
no. I'll probably check it out if I hear it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Only if I hear it's good, though.
That's
Because
fair.
it's going to take place, I think they said, like, 3,000 years ago or something like that.
300
so it's
years
like,
ago,
What?
apparently. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Still
So it's,
back there.
right. It's far.
Wait,
far.
where's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Like on Earth?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's going to be like ancient civilizations dealing with a predator, basically.
freaking like Gerard Butler, Leonidas, just like fighting a like punting a predator into like the
Into a
the
big pit.
Yeah,
Oh, it's funny.
I wouldn't hate it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We got a trailer for the Proud Family, louder and prouder.
Let's go, dude.
I was hit or miss with this show. There were some times where I was like in the mood to watch this show as a kid, and the other times I was like, man, I don't want to watch this show. This show sucks. I
I'm
don't like it.
surprised that people like have this show so much, especially people that aren't of color. I didn't realize so many people like
Mhm.
watch this
Liked
show.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
The Proud Family, like it very much felt like, oh, I get this because it feels like what my family's like. You know what I mean?
Right. Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
it spoke to me, but I just didn't imagine that it would speak to many other people. So I thought that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
people want it, I'm not crazy excited, but I'll maybe give it a watch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it. So, I just thought it was a funny announcement that they're doing the show again.
If I get bored, I might take a couple episodes. We'll see.
So there's that. That's pretty much most of the Disney Plus Day stuff. There's a bunch of Pixar stuff, like they're doing a Baymax show and other bunch of crap, but I didn't really care about most of it. They're doing another Cars spinoff, which I really don't give a shit about. So,
I've only seen the first Cars, and it was not.
Dude,
I
not
didn't
into
give
it.
a
Not
crap,
for
yeah.
me.
If any of the shows need to die, it's that one.
Yep, fair enough. All right, so since we have a little bit of time, there's a couple more stories that weren't related to Disney Plus but did come out recently. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie has been delayed indefinitely, which
Oof.
sucks, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's because of scheduling conflict. I hope it's just because of that.
Right.
I mean, she is going to like writing and directing Wonder Woman 3, and also she's going to do a Cleopatra movie with Gal Gadot as well. But I don't know. I hope this movie still happens.
I mean, after making that whole little thing of her coming out of the like, you can't ice it after that. That seems so
I mean, you
disrespectful.
can.
I mean, you can.
So, but
See, we're doing it right now, but it just feels so wrong. So that's kind of
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. It was pretty ambitious when they come out with all this stuff.
because also that announcement came out. Did it come out? I can't remember. Did it come out before or after Wonder Woman 2 came out? So I
feel
hope
like
it's
it
not
was
because
before.
then maybe because Wonder Woman 2 sucked. They're like,
Oh
"Nah."
no! They pulled a
But it wasn't
Bioware.
that bad. It wasn't
I
that
know,
bad
I
that
don't think so
wouldn't trust
either.
what she's doing with Rogue Squadron. Like,
And I think it made
Exactly,
money.
yeah.
Maybe it didn't hit the marks they wanted to hit,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a flop by any means.
Right.
just
Yeah.
make it. We want to see it.
We did.
I agree.
Yeah, it says right now it'll come out at 2023 at the absolute earliest, which means
I could
2025.
see that. Right, yeah. Yeah. And then also, the Hollywood Reporter said Doctor Strange 2 is undergoing significant reshoots for like 6 weeks, basically till the end of the year. They are going back and shooting stuff, which could be one of two things. One, either they finished filming and then realized they have a crap movie, so they had to reshoot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's not the case. I don't know. 6. That's a lot of reshoots. That's like
Right.
another movie. That's another. Yeah,
They
like
say it was to
Or-
fill in gaps over actor availability issues, and some was COVID related.
right.
But 6 weeks is a lot of shooting.
I don't
Guys, here's what it is. Because it's Multiverse of Madness, what they're going to do is they're just going to reshoot it, and then they're going to splice together both of the shoots, like the original ones and the
know. The 2
reshoots.
movies happening at
And then
once.
it's just gonna be the craziest movie you've ever seen, and it's not gonna
Randomly
make any
in there,
sense.
there's going to be a Zack Snyder cut of the multiverse movie. It's going to be good. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
a lot of
funny.
slow mo
Yeah,
and very on the nose music. But yeah,
right. I just hope the movie turns out well. I'm sure.
It
Yeah,
sounds so
sure it
cool.
will.
It's the one that I'm like significantly interested
Right.
in.
I'm very
As far as
excited. Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
there's not even a trailer for it yet. Yeah,
Right.
I'm very excited for it.
I do wonder though if this movie comes out and it is like some leaks come out and it is that they've reshot basically the whole movie, I will always wonder what was originally shot that they're like, this is bad.
Right.
You
Release
know?
it. Send the cut. We want to see.
We'll see. And then one last story. This message just for me is that Henry Cavill still wants to be Superman, which I am very much for.
No
'Cause
one gives a
Mhm.
fuck about what Henry
I
Cavill wants
do,
when it comes to
Brian.
Superman. I mean, that's fine. Whatever. I think he makes a good Superman. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
he's a great Superman.
I think he's a great Superman, and I think he didn't really have much to do in the 3 times he's appeared as
Yeah,
Superman.
which
So I'm
is-
like,
Hey, listen.
give him a sequel at least. Damn,
I mean,
man.
Ben Affleck
Cavill's
didn't get it
saying-
with Batman either, and look what he did.
That's true, and I would want him to come back too, but that's his choice to leave, not
Yeah.
the studios.
Hey.
All these
So-
characters have been useless.
What Henry Cavill is saying is that he likes easy money because he just can go. He can go in, put in like 5 lines of dialogue, and like stand around a lot, and then you get paid.
Yeah.
Like that's all he
You're
does
not wrong.
in the Superman movies.
He doesn't have
That's
time
not
to be
wrong.
Superman because he's going to be Arthas in the next World of Warcraft movie, and we're manifesting it because he
All
kind of
right.
slightly looks like the guy from the game. But we'll see.
That and like people have been talking about wanting him to play Captain Britain in the Marvel universe as
Oh,
well.
what?
So
Oh no,
That'd be weird.
yeah.
I don't want Henry Cavill fatigue. Please don't put him in everything. I take back what I said.
I hope he comes back in some way, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
for sure.
But yeah, that's it. That's all the news. We've done it yet again.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to our main topic of the week?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But guys, we've done it again. We have found ourselves lost in yet another fortress. This fortress, though, is very different than most, if not all, of the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And you know what? I think it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It didn't pass with flying colors, but it's pretty damn good. And also, his name is Shang-Chi, because we're in the fortress of
Shang-Chi.
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 This man was not selling it very hard. What was the storytelling you were doing for me here? I wasn't grabbed. 4 out of 10. We're gonna send this back to the. We're reshooting this. We
I'm
need
sorry,
6
I'm
weeks.
Reshoot.
I'm a little tired, yes. I'm sorry.
No,
It's been a long
okay, I
week.
understand. No, but Shang-Chi, the movie,
Shang-Chi.
finally came out on Disney Plus.
Legend of the Ten Rings.
How did everyone feel about this movie?
Having had time from it, because I did rewatch it again this weekend.
Oh yeah,
I forgot how good it actually was. Because for a while I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like it's because there wasn't really a sequence that left a lasting impact on me except for one. So that's why I was like, yeah, it's above average Marvel movie, but nothing spectacular. And then having watched it recently again, I think I need to give it more credit than it was that gave it before. I really enjoyed the hell out of that movie a lot. Yeah.
I liked it. It was a fresh take. You know, I think that the main thing I'm excited for is seeing more of Shang-Chi around the MCU because he's so like charismatic and just like, I don't know, like I just like the way he fights, like kind of bringing kung fu to the MCU is I think a very welcome addition. So I think that I'm just more excited for what this movie sets up. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm just
as
glad
well.
it's better than Iron Fist.
Yeah, way
that was one of
better.
the first things I talked about. And I was like, the choreography of this movie just showed me how much Iron Fist fucking sucked, dude.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, the fights were cool.
Yeah.
This movie, I thought it was incredible. I'm at the point
Nice.
of Marvel movies where I just enjoy fresh takes. I enjoy seeing them try things different. Because we've seen enough of the Supermans and the Marvel heroes, and you know what I mean. It's very homogenized at this point. I like to see cultural appreciation and something that's grounded in a different place and spirituality and just all that stuff. I thought was very well done. Yeah, another thing it reminded me of was how badly the cultural appreciation was in Mulan, the remake of that compared to Shang-Chi, and how those movies were
Right.
both made by Disney, and how one could get it so much more correct than
Right.
than the other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I thought that movie was dope. I had a really good time watching it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. We're gonna just get straight into spoilers now, I think.
Yeah.
So I think everyone should see this. I think it's a great movie. I think
Mhm.
it's a good origin for a new character into the MCU, and I'm excited to see more of him in the
Yeah,
future.
absolutely.
So spoilers from here on out. If you haven't seen it in theaters, if you didn't go out and see it, and if you haven't seen it on Disney Plus yet, you should see it because it's now on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
We're not sponsored by them, but Disney give us your money.
We do talk about them a lot.
We do
sure
talk about
do,
you a
yes.
lot. Come on. Yeah, so like I was saying, pre-spoilers, my biggest reason why this movie doesn't like pass with flying colors for me is because of the choreography and the fact that it's good. I still expected better though. Maybe
Really?
that's like selfish on my part. Yeah, just because for me that opening bus sequence is the best sequence in the whole
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And
It's the
it's the
most like
first
kung
one.
fu.
And so
Yeah.
I was like, it's kind of sad that every sequence after that wasn't as good as that first one. And
Yeah.
so, because I think that opening bus sequence is amazing, man. Like that is full on Jackie Chan inspired choreography when he's flipping around the bus and he's like also like chatting with people.
Oh no, it was brilliant.
Oh, it's
That was
so good.
definitely the coolest fight scene.
That went from 0 to 100 so quickly. I was like, oh yeah, there's this guy, and it's like, hey, give me the pendant. And it was like, okay, we got a couple muggers. Like that's fine. Like this guy's about to get mugged, and he starts beating him up. I was like, oh, this is fun. And Aquafina's like, what the fuck, and whatever that's
Right.
happening. And then a dude comes out with a fucking sword for an arm, and you're like, what?
Fucking
Who the fuck
razor
is this
fist.
guy? These dudes are just normal muggers. This guy has a sword for an arm, and no one's like, yo, that dude's got a sword for an arm. Like people were just
Right.
like, okay, a normal day
Yeah.
in New York City.
I like the vlogger, Clev on the bus. He's like, "Yeah, what's up, guys? It's me, Clev.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out on the bus." He's like, "I've seen a lot of fights in my day, so I feel fully good enough to be able to rate this fight
While the bus
Yeah.
is getting chopped in half.
while the bus is getting chopped in half."
But yeah, I see where
That
you're
was
coming
awesome.
from with that. I do think that scene was incredible. Also, the scene after that when they're on top of that like building and stuff and fighting all through that was straight from Rush Hour. Even when the part where Aquafina
Yeah, the scaffolding,
falls
yeah.
down a little bit, like that was Chris
Yeah.
Tucker, and that was a very
That
big
was
Very-
homage
Rush Hour,
to like
yeah.
Jackie
Yes.
Chan and like Bruce Lee movies and
Yes.
stuff like that, which I thought was
Mhm.
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. I always stop liking third acts of movies where they get into the big high scale battles because it just becomes colors hitting colors over and over again and nothing else.
Right.
So I did think that whenever the Mandarin was fighting, I guess not Winwu, whenever he was fighting,
yeah.
it was cool when he was fighting people that couldn't fight back. But as soon as you're fighting someone on a similar power level,
Mhm.
that gets a little goofy because it's this color versus this
Yeah.
color shooting back and forth. So that I didn't love, but the martial arts.
That's my other issue with the movie. We'll get back to the fight stuff in a second, but since you brought up the rings are pretty boring.
We don't
to
really.
me.
They don't do much. They just hit things
No.
hard, and it's like,
They're
okay,
very
that's cool.
vague.
They're
Like,
definitely
very
not the
vague in what they
comic
can
book
do.
rings, and I understand why they did it because they're very much a Thanos Infinity Gauntlet type of setup where each ring does a different thing,
Mhm.
type of thing. So I understand why they do it, and I love the bangles. I love the look of the bangles. I think it's really cool.
right? Because weren't they supposed to be rings? Aren't they supposed to be on his
Yeah,
fingers?
they're supposed to be 10 rings on each
Yeah.
finger, and they were like Infinity Gauntlet's too close. Let's switch it up.
That's fair.
But I just wish they did something more. They're just like big shockwavy things. And
Yeah.
that's it, really.
They just
So,
kind of do whatever you need them to do, which is kind of cool.
yeah,
But
I just wish they were a little cooler.
That's fair. I
Those
can
are
understand
my
that.
two biggest gripes with the movie is that and the choreography as a whole.
I get
At
that.
times.
I kind of a lot with, especially the more powerful like Marvel characters, is that most of them just do strength, but in a different way. It just do strong things,
Yeah.
but differently. Like I feel like Wanda and Vision, like all those characters, are just like they're strong,
Right,
strong
right.
energy, strong fists, just
Yeah.
strong. I don't know. It never feels very inventive once they get
even
to
though,
that power
even
level.
though Vision
anymore.
can phase out, he'll still solve most of his fights with you by punching you in the face. Like
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm like, and that's the thing. It was kind of cool. The thing about Doctor Strange was changing that with portals and magic and stuff like that. But then it still just at the end of the day just turns into
So boring.
I'm gonna shoot a blast at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, this movie was just kind of like, okay, well, I guess we're doing some more of that again. Like,
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just wish there was like you said, it becomes a orange versus a blue fight at the end. of the movie.
right.
But going back, that scaffolding fight also very Jackie Chan inspired with the whole bamboo scaffolding on the side of the building.
Mhm.
That one slightly disappointed me. Maybe it's because you can see some of the CGI-ness to it, also because it takes place at night.
Hmm.
So sometimes it can be a little rubbery, but on the whole, it's pretty good. I just wish there was, I don't know, a little more, I don't know, finesse to it. Maybe I don't know.
There's a few times where the
Something?
CGI
Also, like it was
showed-
just such a weird like resolution and just the way that started. Like I don't know, like it was just weird how it's like these guys who are literally like about to push you off the building and kill you, and then their dad walks in. And it's like, oh, these guys were just like here to bring you guys
Were
in.
they
It's like,
buying time? Right.
the whole? I mean, I don't know. We don't have to get into it yet, but like the whole dad element in the movie was very odd to me, and I think it's because maybe that's another thing in like Asian culture, but I just thought that was like he got a massive pass for being the villain, like and then they kind of made you want to maybe make him a good guy, kind of. I don't know, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah, let's talk about him. That is one of my positive elements. I think he's one of the best Marvel villains in all the movies so far. I loved him. I think that actor Tony Leung is amazing
I like
at
the
what he
actor.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's fantastic, dude. And I thought his character, like, they gave him the depth. I think that he deserved more than most other Marvel villains do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was sad when he dies at the end. I was like, oh, I'm kind of bummed. I would love to see this character around more. So it's kind of a bummer that he's gone now. Yeah, like he's like the smoothest Marvel villain I think we've seen. When he strolls
Yeah.
into that club with his son in hand,
with his 80s Chinese suit,
yes,
with the
yes.
things rolled up.
That
I was like,
that
oh,
was
my
cool,
man's
yeah.
swagging out right now. Let's go.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
that was
god.
cool. But like I don't know, like it was just weird. Like I just couldn't really figure out. I was confused as to like what to feel about him, and maybe that was the point because like he starts off, it's like, oh, he's this like warlord, and he wants to
Mhm.
go find the magic, and he finds it, but then he falls in love with the girl. Which first of all, that choreography was hilarious. Like that like slow mo of them fighting, and then they have
Oh
these like
really?
sensual shots of them like staring at each other, like as they're sliding by each other, like.
Oh, I
It was
really dug all
I
that.
thought
It
it was
was
super
so
cool. Yeah.
funny, like how they did it with the mom and like him, and then they did it with
Yeah.
Shang-Chi and with the
And his
aunt. I'm like,
aunt.
are they
Yeah, I was
about
like,
to
this feels a
fuck?
Oh, with
little.
his aunt
This
later.
doesn't feel
Yeah.
as cool. I don't like this
Yeah.
very much, especially when they look in each other's eyes. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck's about to happen here? Uh,
Yeah, this is gonna be some Oedipus, but in a weird way.
Oh,
Some
no.
Oedipus thing,
hello, Aunt May. Can we not? Yeah, no.
Right,
I
right.
wasn't
Like he,
into it.
he gave him those eyes. I was like, oh.
But since we're talking about the villain, let's talk about how this guy's the fucking Mandarin. We had
Yeah.
two fake Mandarins in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 fucking sucks, dude. Why is that movie so
Yeah.
bad?
I do like how they acknowledge that by bringing in the guy that was the Mandarin.
Yes.
He's like, yeah,
Ben
they're just
Kingsley, man.
I thought that was
Yeah.
super cool. And I thought he did way better in this and got much better screen time.
I was surprised he was in it for as long as he was. I thought
Right.
maybe he'd be like in a one-off scene and that's it. But
They
like
made-
he's in this
They made him a
movie.
main character, and I thought that was very brave of them to do.
Absolutely.
But yeah, is that considered retconning? Did we kind of retcon that a little bit? Because
Yeah, well, they retconned it before because I don't know if you guys saw this. They released like a short called "All Hail the King."
I read about it, but I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, this was released years ago. I can't remember which movie. Like it was on a bonus feature type of shit. But it's basically Trevor, Ben Kingsley's character, in prison for his crimes of Iron Man 3. And then all of a sudden he gets he's in a room, like someone breaks him out, and he's like, "What am I doing here?" Yada yada. And then it's a dude who has the 10 Rings logo on his arm, and he has a gun to his head, and he's like, "Are you gonna kill me?" He's like, "No." He's like, "The real Mandarin wants to see you, though." And so that was their little way of retconning it, saying like, "Oh, so the Mandarin is really out there still. We just haven't cast him and don't know what to do with him." Yet." And then they finally found a way to work that back in.
Yeah.
Probably like 5-6 years later.
I did think that was an interesting way to kind of tighten that back up because Iron Man 3 was notoriously a mess. And it was cool. I didn't mind it, like whatever. But it is kind of stupid that there was a movie because the Mandarin is like one of Iron Man's main villains, and this man died, never actually facing him.
Right?
In
Yeah,
this,
it is.
in this cinematic universe, which is kind of goofy to me.
Yeah, we never got to see like the technology versus magic like dynamic that I think that's what that was.
I don't think it would look good with this version of the Mandarin or Wenwu anyways, because he's not that magical with these rings.
Right.
So it's not, yeah.
They just would have both been shooting sound barrier things at each other.
Right.
Over and over again. Like it wouldn't have been fun.
Like talking about him being a good villain, like yes, I do understand that, and like kind of their whole family dynamic was very interesting, but like I think it was just a little weak how he was like falling for it of like the voice calling to him, because like
I did think that was very comic bookish.
They make him very sympathetic character, and then it's like, and then he just won't listen to reason. Like he's going through there, and they're telling him like, "Hey, this is just a demon. Like they do this to everybody," and he just won't.
I do think that third act is a little weak overall when it gets to the more fantastical things, because I don't think it was as fantastical enough. Which is weird because there's a big dragon fighting another big dragon at the end of this movie.
Those were cool.
So it's pretty fucking fantastical. But I don't know. It was just like not fantastical enough yet, not the realistic. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
I liked the big like lions that look like like Asian statues that you see around. Those were cool.
Yeah,
like those like lions.
those are cool.
And I'm so happy that none of them died. I think. I was really waiting for one to die. I was like very worried.
Shut up! Don't. They're not allowed to die. Or what if like Morris? Fucking, I would die for Morris.
Oh,
Morris is my best friend, and I love him, and he deserves everything ever.
Morris's non-face freaks me out, but it's
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
got
that was
a
goofy.
butt head, which is weird.
fine.
And it's
Also, did they have the fully evolved version of
Of Ninetales?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
had nine tails. That was the first thing I said when I saw it on screen. I just yelled at my screen
Yes.
by myself. Nine tails.
Yep. A million percent.
Or Naruto, right? Isn't Naruto the nine-tailed fox also?
Yeah, I think that's a thing actually in culture, and then it was
Okay.
just
Right, yeah.
straight stripped because Japan.
So Pokemon
Yeah.
and Naruto, whichever one you want to think about it,
Right.
So-
Yeah, because I didn't know that Morris is actual like a from the culture, like a mythological god.
I didn't know that either.
Because I had to look it up because I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, God damn it, Marvel, why are you just trying to sell toys to kids? And then I was like, okay, at least it wasn't totally a marketing thing. It's an actual thing in Chinese
a
mythology,
faceless
and Chinese culture.
like stool animal with like wings?
No, he's like the god of chaos and confusion.
What the
apparently.
fuck?
Oh,
And he
well,
just like
there you
bounces
go.
around and yeah. So I was like, oh, interesting. Okay.
I
well, there
am
you go.
confused. You were correct. Yeah.
That was that was a very goofy looking thing.
Yeah. No, I thought, Morris and the whole Trevor thing I thought was good. I'm glad that Trevor didn't die. And I like how he was faking his death at the end. He's
Yeah.
just lying on the ground.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to that beginning because I thought there's a lot of beautiful scenes in this movie. And I thought the opening with the mom and dad fight, I thought that was really cool. I thought that whole giant like river waterfall set was gorgeous. And I thought the cinematography of their fight with the wind and everything was pretty cool looking.
For sure.
She's basically just an airbender, and then she
That's what it made me think of as well. No, I thought it was super cool. Very like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, with the way that they were like floaty and how they were like jumping around and fighting. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah,
very much so.
but dude, just like the sensual, like slow mo, like eye contact was so funny to me. Like I was cracking up watching that. Like, oh my god, this is funny. But it got the point across. Obviously, like, oh, they're like, in a typical kung fu movie kind of way. It's like, oh, she matches my power. Like, man, I'm so attracted to.
I'm so attracted to her now. Yeah. And then I like that Shang-Chi and Aquafina are valets. I like how they're just like people in their mid-30s just living their lives.
Just normal ass people trying their best.
valets.
Right.
And then their Asian parents are, after them, like, go.
They're
why
like,
are you guys gonna be valets? Like, go be a doctor.
No, I was saying that brings up a great thing. Aquafina is in this movie, and she is now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as what seems like a pretty main character.
Yeah.
I know people were feeling negatively about her because she does have a bad rap for using what people call a black scent, and they did definitely water that down in this movie, which I appreciated. For people that don't know what a black scent is, it is something that is used by people that are not of the African American culture when they are trying to basically be a stereotype of what they think black people should be. Don't do it. I don't care where you came from, how many black people you lived by. Black people don't sound like that. You just sound goofy. Don't do it.
Right.
Anywho, I think she did really, really well in this movie, and I
enjoyed her a lot. Yeah,
I thought she did great, and I think she doesn't deserve the whatever people are saying about her. I think she did.
I think she's
really good
pretty
job.
fun. My biggest thing I would say is that, man, she got really lucky with that arrow shot at the end of this movie.
Homegirl,
I was
Hawkeye.
like, really?
That was
Don't get me started on that because
shot.
why didn't she shoot the first dude that had the guy that was her teacher the whole time?
Oh,
She's frozen.
Yeah, she literally
I
just
was
watched
so
it
sad
Frozen
when
happen.
he
fear and
died.
just stared at it. I'm like, this man got his soul sucked because he was in there looking stupid. Jesus Christ! I know you had one arrow.
That actor, by the way, I didn't know was a double for Bruce Lee in the past at one point.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I watched the behind the scenes on the Disney Plus. They had like an hour-long documentary of the making of the movie, and so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know about that. But anyways, back to her. Yeah, I thought she was funny. She was funny when she needed to be funny. I totally 100% believed that opening breakfast scene and their family relationships. Like I totally believed all of that, and I was like, it's a really funny, realistic scene of her mom being like, "When are you gonna get a real job?" Yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
And she's like telling Shang to like not just don't say anything. Be on my side, please. Be a good friend.
I think like her lines sometimes like weren't the funniest to me, but I don't know if she had a lot of control over writing them or whatever. But
yeah, I think they were passable. Nothing made me like eh.
It's that Marvel kind of thing though, where there might be a few that make you chuckle, but most of the time it's kind of like eh. Like I don't know. It feels very A-list movie joke,
right?
And that's what she was doing. She was playing the funny YouTuber kind of person that just has the sides of like, yo, this world is crazy. What is happening? You know what I mean? That comedic relief when things are really intense and fantastical. You have her to ground you again. She's playing the audience. So it's
Right.
kind of humor,
Right,
you know.
right. I feel like a lot of her jokes were kind of like not predictable, but I don't know. Like in Eternals, I just saw Eternals, and like Kamal Nanjiani was like the best part of that movie, and his jokes were funny.
I mean,
Like,
he's
Right.
great. He's
but
He's
yeah,
amazing.
he's a
I
very
like him
yeah.
a lot
funny
as a person.
comedian. But yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah.
So it just didn't hit the same way. But that's not to be unfair to her. Like I did like her. I did like her in the movie. But I
Mhm.
just think they're like as a comedian, I thought she'd have some more zingers, some more
That's
good
fair.
ones.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know
I
what to make
love
from him.
that her character, and she also talked about this in behind the scenes stuff with that. Like her character is like that representation of the immigrants that are kind of the in between of not knowing which culture they kind of belong to
Mm,
with. Because like she talks about how her Chinese isn't her Mandarin or Chinese isn't very good in the movie and yada yada, and then
hmm
she's American. Like she even tells her mom, you're American as well. And then so it's like she's not afraid of her Chinese culture and she wants to embrace it. She just doesn't know much a
hmm
lot about it. So I love how excited she is when they finally do go to China and stuff, and also when they go to Talo and how she kind of embraces this side of her that she didn't
hmm
fully embrace before. And I thought it was a cool representation because there are a lot of people like that. I'm one of those people as well, where like I was born here, I haven't been back to my family's countries since I ever for my mom and my dad since I was like an infant. But it's
hmm
like always a curiosity, and and like want to embrace it if there's a chance type of thing. But so I thought that was kind of interesting, really cool.
Win-Win was kind
hmm
of cool when they're eating dinner after
Mm,
they basically kidnapped him. He's like, "You, American girl, what's your Chinese
yeah,
name?" And of course she
yeah,
tells it to him. And he's like, "You should honor that name because it tells about the people before you." Because that was a thing too that like Asian people and like my classes growing up and stuff like that. We use what they called their white name, or we would sometimes joke and be like, "Yeah, it's my slave name, whatever." And
right,
this is kind of the thing. It was like because people mostly can't pronounce my Chinese or Vietnamese or Japanese name,
right,
so it's like call me I don't know Judith, and it's like that's not your name, but I know you had to pick one, and it's
Call
kind of
me
funny to kind
Brad.
of see that passing that you have to do. Like her name's Katie in the
right.
movie, and it's like that's not
Hmm.
her name, but
No, yeah, it's interesting. Speaking of that dinner table, I love the line where when we was talking about how the world was afraid of an orange when he talks about the
oh
Mandarin story.
yeah,
He's
and
like,
that's what they
Yeah.
pick.
they picked an orange. I thought that was a very good line.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, no, okay. Well, I mean, talking about that, like, I guess we could get into the character of the sister, because like,
Yeah.
she got. I feel like she didn't get enough respect at all in this movie. Like, that was one of my downsides to the movie was that I
Mm.
don't think she got enough love, and like, she also gave. I don't know if you guys like noticed that, but like, Shang abandoned her after. And then like the whole thing is like, oh, our dad is so bad for training us to be assassins or whatever. And then he straight up left her. And then
Yeah.
she, for the first time seeing him since that happened, she like knocks him down or like doesn't save him or something during that fight one time. And then she helps him like two seconds later. And then she's like, now
Right.
you know how it feels to be left alone. Aha. Like she gives him such a pass. Like, what? No, be mad at him for like the whole movie. Like that was weird. And
Right.
like, I don't know, she just didn't get like she got that cool like dragon glass like like thing at the end, and then like
Mhm.
she barely got a moment in the sun with it. Like I wish that the fight at the end had been like her and Shang teaming
Yeah.
up against the
Right.
dad,
There's that moment
together.
when he's holding her and she's about to fall and they're on the dragon. I thought the way he was gonna help her was he was gonna give her 5 rings, and then he would keep the other 5 to kinda, like
Mm-hmm.
so she had something to, like, catch herself with, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, that would've been pretty sweet if they did that and they just split them up for a little bit for a second there."
Yeah,
Nope, didn't do
and she was just badass in
it.
every scene she was in too. But I don't know. I just feel like she should have gotten more. She should have been a bigger part of the
Yeah,
plot.
because
I
I
think.
loved her. I thought she was
Yeah,
great
she
in
was a
the movie.
badass, but I don't.
Yeah.
Did she have very many lines? I'm trying to think about even like what she really said throughout most of the movie. Like,
I mean, yeah.
They had that like one of the things of her story was that like I'm a daughter, I'm not his son, so like I was useless to him or whatever, right? Like, she
Right.
got disrespected because she was a girl. And they never resolved that. Like the dad just gets a pass for like being a dick to
Yeah.
her. And like
Yeah.
and
That's
then you're
true.
kind of like empathize, they're trying to make the dad a sympathetic character. And then like they never get resolution of like, oh, like and I think because they were trying to, well, I know the movie got banned in China, but I think maybe because they were trying to market it to Chinese, audiences maybe to get into that market. Like I feel like
Mm.
maybe there's certain things in the movie that like, that were culturally different, and maybe that was one of them. Is like, oh, like
maybe.
because like the dad, I think becoming a sympathetic character was definitely like a very like pander to China audiences kind of thing. Like that he can't actually be a bad guy. Like respect your elders, kind of like strong. The father leads the household kind of thing. Like I think that's a thing, and like maybe the girl just kind of accepting her role is a thing as well. But I don't know. Like that's very anti-American ideals. Like like that's very like you should resolve this with your daughter. You should by the end of it, you should like he should have acknowledged at some point, like, you're just as good as important as your brother, if not more.
Yeah.
And like, I was wrong to like, cut you out. Never got that resolution. Like,
he's very apologetic to Shang-Chi himself. And I was like, here, I pass over the torch of the 10 rings to you. And to you, daughter, nothing.
Nothing.
Fuck you, guys. And it's like, okay, dope, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's true.
He goes up and he's like getting grabbed by the soul sucker thing. And he's like, oh, Shang. And he looks over his daughter. He's just puts up the bird like, as he's as he's dying. Like that's honestly how it was. I don't know. I just didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that till you brought it up. I'm like,
I guess like her biggest thing was her and Shang's relationship of how he abandoned her. And I think they kind of mended that fence. I think that was her biggest thing, even more than their dad. Because she like moved on past her dad because she established herself in this like fight club basically, which we'll talk about in a sec. And so she
made that fight club.
She made
at
that
16 years old. That's wild.
Like fuck. Which we get a fucking cameo by the Abomination and Wong in this movie.
So that was the Abomination because he like
that was the Abomination, which is weird because one, he looks different, which is he looks more like the comic book character, so that's cool. But also, why is he with Wong? I want to know more.
Why are they friends?
Why are they friends?
Why is he not in jail? Like,
yeah, like I don't understand that at all. So maybe when Doctor Strange 2 he'll be reappear again. I don't know.
Maybe that's what they're reshooting.
They're like, shit, we forgot about that.
They've got to put Abomination in there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was just like a one note cameo, and I was.
Speaking of characters looking like their comic book versions, or rather not. What the fuck what's that monster called? The Dweller in the Darkness. Does not look like the comic book Dweller in the Darkness. Also, wasn't it like a muscular octopus man? Like
something.
It wasn't a dragon. And I thought their dragon was cool and very much based in Asian culture, and I like that a whole lot. But the Dweller in the Darkness kind of fell flat for me personally. Yeah, because he just kind of looked like Lord of the Rings, medieval, scary dragon monster at the end of the day. Like
very standard, generic,
like copy and paste. We need ugly dragon. I was like, okay, I get it.
Put the shot of him like bursting through the wall in like Pacific Rim, and it's like that's not going to be that shocking. Like,
right?
Yeah.
I thought the design was kind of generic-ish. It's just a big cloudy monster with wings type of thing. But I don't know. I don't know what else they. I don't know. Maybe change the color palette.
I mean, get creative, dude. Y'all got so much money. You can do anything in the world. You could have made it a big muscular dude with octopus head. Maybe that would have been more interesting. I don't know. I get weird about that because we just seen it so many times. We've just consumed so much media as humans at this point that you got to start getting kind of creative with it, especially when it comes to big bads.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think
that's definitely
the good guy dragon was definitely badass though. He was kicking ass like at first. So
and then they started getting all in his eyes, and I got sad. And homegirl was like,
that made me squirm when they attack.
I hate eyes.
Stuff. Oh, I hated that. Oh, it was gross.
No, but wasn't it funny though? Like when they pull up, and like it's like the 10 Rings guys versus like the Talo villagers. And then like one bat thing like goes up and then gets the soul of like that one badass ninja that I thought was gonna have like a fight with somebody important, right? And then he just gets killed like instantly, and they're like, "Okay, we're all on the same team now."
Yep.
He said, "Fuck that."
I thought that was funny. Like his body just like thuds to the ground, and it's like, "Okay, yeah, we get it. We're all on the same team now. Like we get it."
I kind of love Swordman. He was hilarious to me. His car that they stole, his like pimped out BMW or whatever it was.
In my notes, I didn't even write. I just wrote, "Why is Razor Fist's car?" Just why? Like, why is that his car? Is he from the early 2000s? Did he go to Pimp My Ride? What is his car?
It's so goofy. It's so funny. Then him getting so upset when they stole it. I was like, I love this guy. He's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's something about the big bad muscular dude being like funny or being like, I don't know, weak or goofy. It's just great trope. One of my favorites.
Shang-Chi's superhero outfit. It's like just like a red
Mm,
shirt.
I was like, it kind of looks like when you're cosplaying or like you buy a costume from like
Just a
Walmart
red
and it
shirt.
doesn't come with like the pants or whatever. Like you have to buy the pants
Yeah.
separately because he was just wearing jeans and then some t-shoes and tennis shoes.
He's
And I was like,
wearing literally Jordans.
yeah, it's kind of
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say I
Which
don't think he got new shoes, or maybe not
no,
even new
which I
pants.
the in the behind the scenes they talk about it, where it's like they wanted to show like each aspect of his life, and so like the one thing that he kept from San Francisco and like him actually growing up were his Jordans. So I was like, okay, but I guess it's from the comics, so like it's not that much of a costume, anyways. So I get why it's just a red shirt, basically.
I think
But
it would have
Yeah.
been better if they brought
eh.
more attention to it.
Right,
Like maybe
right.
have him like maybe a little mini thing of him putting on the armor and then him tying up his laces or something
There's
like
no
that. There's
reveal,
no reveal. No,
really.
they show it
Hmm.
to him. They show you when it comes out the pack and you see it a little bit. And
Yeah,
next thing you know, he just has it on, and it's like, oh, okay. So I think it would have been funny. Like it could have been like a very, I don't know, Tom Holland Spider-Man moment where it's like, oh, I'm putting on my suit and stuff. Oh, I also got to tie my Vans real quick. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Something like that
yeah.
would be kind of goofy before they get into the fighting scenes or something. I think I would have appreciated that.
My big issue with this movie as well at some points is like there weren't that many like big hero moments in this.
Hmm.
Like there's that moment where he comes out of the water riding the Great Protector, and it's just kind of a nothing-ish moment for me, at least. The reason for me it's because there's no big musical moment there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like the music
Hmm.
doesn't swell at all really there. He just kind of
Hmm.
shoots out of it in there. And it's like it almost gets me every time, but like it's just missing something to kick it up a notch. And when I
Hmm.
first saw it in theaters, I thought just maybe it was like a bad theater speaker system. And so like, but then watching it again, I was like, oh no, it's just kind of a bland-ish moment. And I was
Yeah,
just like, I
Yeah.
needed some more oomph there. But
that's fair.
yeah.
There's that moment where he's like flying and he becomes basically the Avatar. And he's like, flying and
Right.
he's like airbending and stuff. And he's like, and then he what does he do? Like the rings like combine and they make a big
He
old
makes a
hole in
big
the.
Kamehameha ball inside the dragon and
And
he
I love
blows
that
it up.
because Aquafina calls it that because I called it that when as soon as I saw it, then she calls it that later. I was like,
Yeah,
yes.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, let's talk about how it's just a big Dragon Ball fight in his stomach and it blows up.
Yeah, I mean that was a pretty goofy. Like it was cool, but it was also a little goofy. Like just to see him
It's
like
one of those
flying
things
in
where
the
it's like,
air.
what can the rings actually do?
Right.
Yeah, we still
They
don't
just
really
like
know.
are weird shockwaves, but also if you put them all together, they make a big spirit ball. So
You can also spin them around, kind of cool, and that's like
I like
whatever.
when he's like parkouring off of them and he's using them to like run on and
Mm-hmm.
swing off of when he's
Mhm.
trying to traverse to the big dark dweller thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, interesting note: they changed the colors. Bad color was blue. Good color was orange. It's usually the other way around. I was
Very
surprised.
true.
That's how
Yeah,
it was
that's
in
true.
Black Panther.
Wait, the good color was Mandarin orange. Was the good color?
Oh god.
Mandarin.
Now the world's gonna know. They're gonna call him Mandarin.
I'm starting to get to the point where I just think I don't like live action superhero battles. And I think that's why third acts of Marvel movies have been kind of rough for me in the recent years. So I'm just starting to be like, okay, I get what's going to happen here. They're going to do a big old
Right.
fight and some colors are going to clash together. And it is what it is.
I will say
Yeah.
I did not expect the dragon fight though.
That is true.
I was
That
like,
was so cool.
damn, okay. They're going all out with the fantasy for the most part.
Yeah, I knew they talked about it. So I figured I actually did expect the dragon, but I didn't know what the dweller in the darkness. Dweller in the darkness. Yeah, I keep wanting to call him dweller in the deep. Rolling in the deep. Adele.
Right.
Adele Dragon.
It was cool. I do like how much they honestly, I would actually love that. They should do that for the next one. Yeah, I do like how much they went into the fantastic with this. And I like how much of it was like a cultural appreciation of it as well. I just thought that was just super cool to make it balls to the wall, almost Disney-fied with
right.
some of that landscape and stuff.
I like that Shang-Chi, he killed the person. He did his first mission. Like you find out that he actually did kill the man responsible for killing his mom, and then he was like, I hate this, I'm leaving. I'm not coming back. So it's like it's interesting that they did that. They went that way with his character. He's not as clean as like other characters would be. Like they were like, no, he committed murder at 14 years old.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him, bro. I said what I
And
said.
then ditched his sister. That
Killed
clown.
your mom, dude, in front of you.
I will say, like, I love that the mom, the aftermath of that scene, that she just beat the shit out of everyone. But I just
Yeah.
wish we had seen it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
I wish we had at least seen her go out in a blaze of glory.
It was a little goofy that, like, I don't know. I mean, I know it had to happen for the plot of the movie, but like, seems like a guy like the Mandarin who knows that you have made a lot of enemies in your lifetime wouldn't at least have like a few guards at your house to like stop stuff from like this, or maybe have like an escape room or some kind of
Right.
secret room. But it's like, no, if people just walk right through my front door, they could absolutely murder my wife and and
Who would
children.
have thought that you just could knock on the door and next thing you know, you can just kill everybody?
He literally,
Yeah.
like, it's the classic dad thing. Like, he literally was out buying groceries, and he
Getting
comes back, and he has
groceries.
he has like a paper bag of groceries. Like, dude, you fucked up. Like,
Right.
It's comic booky. I gotta allow
Yeah,
it.
very much so. But like, I'm kind of sad that we didn't really get more of her because she was such a cool
She was great.
character as well. Like, I don't know. The women just got kind of shafted in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I feel
Which
like
is
that
sad
was-
because I thought all of the women in this were fantastic. I think Michelle Yeoh
were.
might be like the most graceful actor in the world. Like anytime she's on screen, I want to listen to whatever she's saying.
Oh, yeah.
She's fantastic.
the teacher,
Oh
right?
my God.
The one that taught him airbending.
Yeah, his aunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She is so cool.
I want her to read me a
Ugh.
storybook.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah, very graceful.
Which this is now her second appearance in the Marvel Universe because she's actually in Guardians 2. She's one of the original Ravagers at the end that is there for Yondu.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
And all those ships. So they did a bit of double casting in this.
That's
so-
kind of funny. Oh my gosh.
Didn't know
Yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
cool. Or it was just her, and then
She's just in space
She's
then.
not in there, too.
That's gonna fuck me all the way up. I don't like that.
coming to the next the next movie.
Yeah. I think that's it for the most part of the movies. Let's talk about the post credits. So the first, unless you guys have anything else.
Oh, they really used their quota on the amount of times they could say curse word in this movie, and they chose to use shit every single time. And I love that for them. I thought that was great. They used 3 shits in this movie?
Oh, I
And
didn't notice that.
That's
funny.
hilarious. Because I know you can only get so many rated, what is it, PG-13?
PG-13.
Yeah, you only get a few, and I think they used every single one.
That's funny.
That was awesome.
I do wonder what's stronger, dragon scales or vibranium. I want to see that fight.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I feel like dragon scales.
Because also Talo is like a different world. Like
Right.
they go through a portal and everything. It's
Yeah.
a completely different
Another
universe. She
dimension,
even
but
says
now-
like your universe is separate.
I think where we are now in the Marvel universe, you can just slap a different dimension on everything. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh, that's fine. Like different dimensions, slap. Like, yep.
Slap.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. Dragon scales, vibranium. I feel like dragon scales would win because they're more mystical and ancient. I feel like vibranium is probably newer, but I don't know.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Also, we talk about a little bit the post-credit scene, which we're about to talk about.
Yeah. So it's Shang-Chi and Katie explaining the whole story to their friends at over some drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden Wong's like, yo, Shang-Chi, I need to talk to you. That's how the movie ends.
He said, whoa, wait, is that sangria? Let me get some of that.
Right.
Come with
Wong.
me.
So good.
He's great. I love it. So.
Yeah.
He's great. And then we find out that the rings have a weird beacon in them. And we have no idea what it's calling out to.
Because them shits are
I don't know.
alien, and no one
Captain
knows
Marvel,
what kind of,
again.
No one knows where they came from.
what it's made out of or anything.
True.
Is it Eternals related? Is it Galactus related? I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I also feel like, also having seen Eternals, like, I don't know what Marvel's end game for this next
segment
series of
of
films.
all
yeah.
over the place.
I feel like they're just chucking everything, trying to see what people get latched onto,
Mhm.
and then they're like, let's just go with that.
there's no singular like bad guy like Thanos. There's no like I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's
Because
anything.
it's like, how does Kang relate to all this? It's like,
Right.
I thought Kang was going to be the big bad, but now it's like, I don't know.
Galactus at some point, but that seems too soon for that
Galactus.
right now.
Yeah,
Because they haven't
Mhm.
established enough for the characters yet.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It doesn't feel like they have such a clean plan as they did in the beginning.
So
No.
do you feel like the MCU? Do you feel like that will damage it because like it'll just be like, oh well, it doesn't really matter. Each movie doesn't really matter now because like the first phase had like everything was kind of building towards Infinity War, and that kept you
Right.
very engaged. But now that it's
Mhm.
like, well, maybe that won't be as connected anymore. Does that hurt
Yeah.
the MCU, or is it just more freedom? And it's like, well, that just allows people to make different kind of movies, and we just kind of take what we want from it.
I don't know. I mean, I guess we can only find out with time and seeing how it works.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm loving seeing, because a lot of these characters are stuff I've never seen before. I don't know anything about Eternals. I don't know anything about
Mhm.
Shang-Chi. So it's really refreshing to see characters that we didn't really grow up with, but were, very big parts of the comic universe. I don't know how long that novelty will last before it starts getting annoying,
Mhm.
So,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
I think Marvel probably does have a plan. It's just kind of scatterbrained. It seems at least scatterbrained right now.
X-Men
Mhm.
got to come
Um,
eventually, and that shit's kind of grounded compared to whatever we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I just feel like they'll tie it all together eventually, or at least
Yeah.
parts of it. But like, it does seem like they're a little right now. They're just kind of making a mess, and they haven't
Especially if
like.
they're like gonna try to introduce like Blade and vampires and shit. It's like, where are we going with
Yeah.
this?
I want to see Blade with the Avengers.
Right.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so weird. Like the next Avengers shot, whenever they do, another big like superhero team up, it's gonna be much
It's gonna be
different and probably
insane.
somewhere in space.
Yeah. But also we see Bruce Banner. Also, he's not Smart Hulk like we were talking about earlier, so it's like I guess he can just change at will, I guess. His arm is still in a sling from when he snapped his fingers. And then
Hmm.
we also have Captain Marvel there wearing her hair. I was like, why does her hair look so fucking terrible in this
I
scene?
was so frazzled, dude.
She looked like she just got out of
Yeah,
bed.
so
I was
when you
like,
got
did she
bedhead.
shoot this over COVID from home? Like, what is happening
Honestly,
in
she
this
might have. She
scene?
probably had the costume in her closet.
That's what I'm saying. Because I was like, I'm kind of bummed that she doesn't have her faux hawk hair anymore. I was like, you had it for one movie and it wasn't even that good in that movie, and now she just grew it out because y'all couldn't put a wig on her. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little weird, but I don't know. I
Yeah.
liked Wong talking. It felt very much like Wong telling those actors where he's like, "Your life is gonna change completely after this moment. Like this is just embrace it because you're gone for a wild ride now." And I was like, that's kind of cool if you're also talking to those actors like, "Welcome to this
Yeah,
insane
yeah,
world."
yeah. That's
So I thought
true.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, across the board. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It feels more like having Shang. I just liked him a lot, like as a character, and I think that having him with the Avengers, like bringing the kung fu kind of like calm, like confronting enemies with very calm like style and stuff. I just think that's going to
Mhm.
be so fun to watch, and maybe hopefully we'll get some cool kung fu in the future. Who knows?
I was going to say that I'm almost worried about him meshing with the other characters because of how different he feels in comparison to it. Because this, in a
Hmm.
lot of ways, almost didn't feel like a Marvel movie to me. So I'm like kind of
Hmm.
nervous that he's gonna feel disjointed, kind of the same way that Captain Marvel felt disjointed from the rest of the Avengers for a little bit, while
Hmm.
Brie Larson was kind of
Interesting.
getting her footing with that
Right.
character. So I
Hmm.
mean, we'll see. I kind of like him by himself, and I'm scared that I'm not gonna like him as much when he's with others.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I do like that they gave him a superpower with the ring so that he can kind of stand up
Uh
with the
huh.
other heroes. So
I
they're
was
like,
Hmm.
he can't just be kung fu guy. He needs a power. Give him the
I
rings.
was talking to with a friend about that, where like his power level's nerfed so hard if he doesn't have those rings, he can't do shit.
Yeah.
But they wanted to make sure that he could
Yeah.
be on the same level as some of these other big characters. Like that's fair. We need that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Who
Yeah.
do you think you could take in the MCU? I think you could take like Winter Soldier,
Oh
Black
yeah. With the
Widow
rings or like without the rings?
with the rings.
With the rings, he can beat the shit out of, I feel like, a lot of those people just by whipping those rings around.
All right.
I don't know. I feel like Hulk would just like throw him aside. I don't think he would
If he
win
got
against Hulk.
close to
I
him,
say he might not have
maybe.
to touch Hulk.
Yeah.
Hulk might not have to touch him, be able to touch him.
Yeah. If
True.
he got close enough to him, maybe. But like, I'd like to see him go toe to toe with like I don't know. I feel like hand to hand, I would like to, if Cap was still here, I would like to see him go toe to toe with Cap.
Ooh,
But I
like
don't know if
with
anyone else
no
can go toe to
rings?
toe with just a fight. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Like, I think he would kick the shit out of everybody. Maybe Black Panther, but also Black Panther's not around either now. So
True.
yeah, that would be really interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Or like a hand to hand fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last post credit scene was like what the
Sisters Gone Evil.
Are they making a TV
was
show?
it
'Cause that's what that
Evil?
felt like to me. They're making a Ten Rings
Oh,
TV
that's
show.
fair. Oh my god, I didn't think about that. That is they're not so far, but I could 100% see that.
Yeah.
That felt
hadn't
very
seen that happen.
spin-offy of her now owning the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was going to modernize the 10 rings. I don't know.
I
It
didn't think in a
seemed
bad way,
slightly
though.
villainous because I'm pretty sure she is a villain in the comics.
Mm.
Oh, is
So,
she?
which I'm a little sad about because I really liked her as a character.
Yeah,
So,
what?
but
Damn it.
I could see them doing that.
Dude, that would
maybe if
be, I would be so mad, like, unless they do it well. Because, like, man, she got nothing, like, I don't know, she got very underused in this movie. And it's like, oh,
I
and
do
then we're
like
just
how
gonna make her a bad
anytime you
guy.
sit in that chair, you gotta sit like this.
Gotta
in this
sit
pose.
cool, yeah.
You
That's
know?
true.
That's when you know you done did some shit.
Right.
When you sit like that. Yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that she's supposed to end up being a villain. I wonder what's the fall from grace that happens there that makes her in that spot. I didn't actually read up on any of that.
Mm-mm.
Maybe it's just a power thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think she
I
just
don't know.
stepped into the power vacuum and was like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
Also, is
It's like, yeah.
Aquafina supposed to be someone? From the actual comics?
I have no idea.
Okay, because
Not that I
they
know
gave her a
of.
lot to do, and I was actually surprised at
Yeah.
how much they gave her to do.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that they put them together as like a couple, seemingly as a
Mhm.
couple at the end of this movie, and I kind of dig it. You know?
Yeah.
It's whatever to me. I
Yeah.
couldn't care less.
I don't know. I think they made it very clear that, like, oh, we're just friends. But I don't
They
know.
put arm in arm.
I
I
don't know.
could see them stealing a kiss.
Yeah, I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I could see them doing that too.
But Either way, good for them. Um,
But yeah, no, guys, I mean, the crazy thing is that, like, just one note on this movie, like, it actually, I don't know if it ever was shown in China, but I know that they were probably trying to market to the Chinese audience by, and by embracing like some of the stuff in the writing, whatever. But it was banned in China. Like, they didn't even. I don't know if they ever were able to show it even once. Like, same with Eternals for different
yeah.
reasons. But like this one was banned because of like feminine values in men or
I feel like
something.
China bans most movies that Americans make about China.
Yes,
True.
you're correct.
Like, I think most Marvel movies, they, are let in, but this one was not because it like promoted like feminine values in men or something, some crazy
Yeah.
justification.
Oh, like loving yourself and having feelings. Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn
Like,
it.
honestly. Yeah. So apparently,
Yeah.
pandering to the dad wasn't enough. I don't know. And then Eternals got banned because of the director, because I guess she's outspoken about, all the atrocities that China does.
I haven't seen the
Something like
movie,
that.
but spoiler alert: isn't there a gay kiss that's
There is a
had in that
gay
movie?
Oh, yeah,
relationship,
true.
Yeah.
which
But
we will
yeah.
talk about whenever we talk about that movie. But finally, Marvel can actually say there is their first gay character in the Marvel universe, because they've said
Let's
about 80 other
fucked
times, I
up.
feel.
Right.
Yeah.
They've been trying to talk about it since 2008, something crazy like that.
Fucking dumb.
I thought it was a little sad that, that this movie that is very much, based in like Asian culture and China and stuff
Yeah.
is not
Banned
actually
in
allowed to be
action.
seen in China.
Yeah,
Sucks.
that's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very sad.
It's a bummer. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all of my notes.
Mhm.
Really dug the movie a lot. Mostly just choreography could have been slightly better for me at times. Dad was a good villain, but overall, I really like this movie a lot.
Mhm.
And I'm excited to see more from Shang-Chi in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once again, Marvel's made me care about characters that I really didn't think much about. Been doing that since Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I definitely look forward to seeing more of Shang-Chi and his sister, damn it.
Even though she's
Give
gonna
her
be bad.
give her some respect, all right?
She's gonna get a 6-episode show deal
Miniseries.
on Disney Plus. So
That'd be
we'll
cool.
look forward
Yes,
to that
because
as
they
well.
do say that the 10 rings will return. So
That's
there you go.
I was like, this is a TV show. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on to our final segment of the week,
Mhm.
Let's do it.
which we like to
Woo-woo.
call Free for All, title pending. This is a segment, listeners, where we can kind of just do whatever we want. We can recommend something to you. We can rant about something to you. We can just talk about our day and our lives.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's free for all. I can go first. I played and finished the game Bug Snacks.
You sure
this
did.
Bug
past
snacks?
week. Bug Snacks. It is a game where you're like a little, what they call grumps is the species apparently, and basically like little weird gremlin creatures. And you go to this island, part of an investigation. You're a reporter, and this island is filled with what they call bug snacks, and they're just like little creatures that wander around. They're like Pokemon, but they're all like snack based. So like there's like a little
Huh.
like crab looking thing that's also a strawberry, and it's called like a strabby and shit like that. And
Hmm.
it's a really weird game. It's very like Pokemon Snap as well, where it's like you have to catch all of them, and you have to also scan them with this binoculars you have. And it's really short. It's not a long game. It's probably like if you just went straight story, you could probably beat it in like 6 hours. But like I did everything and beat
Of
it. I
course
think
you did. Did you 100% it?
I platinumed it. I'm
Oh
done.
my gosh.
I think I platinumed it in probably like 11 hours. So
Oh,
it's
that's not
really
bad.
not that long of
Yeah.
a game. It's pretty short. It was a nice like just a itch to scratch of like I just want something I can get done pretty quickly, and then I will move on with my life. But it's fun. It's a cute game. It almost overstays its welcome with it because it does kind of get very formulaic in how, oh, now you got to, can you catch this bug for this person? There's a lot of side quests of just catch this bug for me or catch 3 of these
Mhm.
bugs, yada yada yada.
Mhm.
And once you figure out how to catch certain bugs, it's like you kind of know what you're doing at that point. Um, but the big point of this as well is the story at one point gets fucking weird. It turns into like a weird psychological thriller almost.
What the fuck?
There's some scariness to it. You almost expect jump scares at times, but it's there's some funny like they play with tone in this a lot because everything's very
Damn.
cute. But there's a one specific mission where you're telling ghost stories at a campfire with the rest of your friends. And at one point, I was like, you have free roam of the camera, but you can't move your character. So I was just looking around, and I swear I saw something in the shadows move across behind houses. I was like, what the fuck is happening in this game right now? It's scary. It put me on such edge because I was playing this whole game with headphones as well. I was like, I hate this so much. I hate this game. But no, it's fun, and they set it up at the end for a sequel, but they also set it up with it's like a weird. I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much, but like there's a lot of lore they seem to want to establish in this weird world
Right.
about bugs
Right.
that are fruit and shit. So,
I would
but it's
never
fun.
expect it. That's super weird.
Yeah, no. If you could, luckily I didn't look into it because I heard that there was a weird twist. So I would, if you do play it, I would go in
As
without knowing any
blind as you
spoilers. Just
can.
try to go as blind, yeah, and just
Mm-hmm.
experience it. But it's fun.
Interesting.
It's a cute game. It's not that big of a commitment. So yeah,
Ooh,
Nice.
okay. Hey, that sounds like my kind of game.
yeah.
All right, boys. Well, hey, I just wanted to I learned something this week, and I just wanted to share it with you. And I'm sure you guys might already be aware of this, but I was like down the YouTube, rabbit hole as one does sometimes, and I was on this one video about the top 10 biggest battles in video game history or something, and the number
Mm,
one was okay, are you guys familiar with EVE Online?
Yes. Mhm.
yes.
Dude, I didn't know, I knew it was a game. I did not know what else it also is. This game has its own economy that's run by just free market, forces. It's like an experiment, right? Real people, there's real corporations within EVE Online. And
What?
but here's the craziest thing. To get this one class of ship, to get, you have to pay real money in dollars to get different ships for your fleet. The biggest, the most expensive ships, Titans, I think they're called, cost $9,000 each.
Jesus.
Real money of real dollars. Okay. And so,
What?
so this battle happened. So I think the way that the game works, I don't know much about how it works, but I know that there's territory in space, and these different factions kind of control different territories of space. It's literally like fucking Dune or Star Wars or something but in real life. So this one big battle, it was called
In real life.
it's called the bloodbath of BTH, some code, right, of the spot it was at, but it's called the bloodbath. So basically this one faction allied with another faction, and they did a surprise attack during a workday because they knew that a lot of the people would not be around because they'd be working. They did it during a workday, and it kicked off this battle because they didn't, I guess you have to make payments to keep territory too. So whatever, some payment was delayed or something, I don't know, but either way it was a weak spot. It allowed them to jump in. They ambushed them, and the real life battle lasted for 20 hours, and it cost
What the
the total cost of the ships that were lost on both sides was $300,000.
Oh my
Like,
god.
and the clans that get together and stuff, they have to come up with that money. I don't know how they do it. I've only just been exposed to this, but I am going to do more research on EVE Online. EVE Online has its own news channel. There was a news channel that was live streaming this battle, watching it, and people were people were watching it around the world as it was happening, this
It's
battle.
called
And
Eve TV.
This
EVE
sounds
TV, yeah,
like the most
and
ridiculous thing.
they have their own economy. They have I was looking at podcasts to learn more about it. There's an EVE economy daily news podcast. There's it's just
What?
insane that what this game is. So I don't know. I had no idea the extent of EVE Online, and that wasn't even the only battle. There's been other battles before and since. That was just one, maybe the biggest one, but it involved tens of thousands of players, or maybe
Holy
I
shit.
don't know, no, probably not millions, but thousands and thousands of players, and this 20-hour battle, and it cost real life money at the end of it. I
He
just thought
said
that was
it's like
insane.
Dune.
I mean, for real, man, it's the Harkonnens versus the House Atreyu,
Atreides?
or
That's crazy.
Atreides. Yeah, there you go. Atreyu. I said Atreyu.
Wow. Atreyu.
House Atreyu. Yeah, House Atreides versus the Harkonnens versus the Imperium.
What
But it
the
was like that,
fuck?
but with real people. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do know only a slight bit about it, which is funny that you brought it up because I actually was thinking about that fairly recently for some reason.
Huh.
Because yeah, it's really interesting just to see, especially because how MMOs are very anti-cheating, there's
Mhm.
terms of service, things like that. The company that made EVE Online is very purposely hands off with their approach in the game, and everything's very open world, without
Mhm.
a crazy amount of rules or stories or things like that. So a lot of what the game is made is created by the players themselves, and they've kind of made the world what it is. And New World, the most recent Amazon MMO that just came out, I don't know if you guys are aware of that game, was kind of trying to be a little bit like play around with that idea of like the players make the factions and stuff like that. And if there's a bunch of players on one faction, they will rule the economy for, their server, stuff like this. But this game takes it to a new level. When Devin says like corporation, there's like you actually have to be a CEO in your in-game corporation and like give other people real ass jobs and stuff like that in this game. And it's just crazy the amount of like time that the people put in it, because this game has been out forever. When this game fucking come out? It came out like early 2000s. Like this game is old. But the people that love this game love it. Like it's crazy. Yeah, 2003 was when this game came out.
Wow.
And people still play it. Like,
that's too much.
But it's just crazy. Like, and like to be like, so yeah, like taking that into account and then knowing that like a battle actually matters and it has real stakes and like,
because your real money is on the line.
Yeah. And that's like the thing, because stuff like, it's like crime in this game is a part of the game, just like crime is in real life. So like people do things like piracy or destroy people's bases and stuff. And like you have space police in the game, but like it's mostly just kind of like you're supposed to be protecting your own assets. And like Devin said, your own assets in a lot of plays are real fucking money.
That's too much.
Yeah, good and like Lord. just think about how epic it must have been to be in that battle, like as it was happening. Like this 20-hour battle, like to know like the stakes of it and go into it, like on either side. Like I don't know how like it went down, or like if you like at what point you can't keep playing, like if your ship blows up, maybe I don't know, but it's just crazy. And like and they were giving off like the battle statistics of like, oh, like this many super carriers were destroyed, this many Titan class, this many battleships. Like it's just crazy, like the amount of like just how big and like massive it was. And I don't know, it must have been really fun to play it and be in that while it was happening.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
I don't know.
That sounds terrifying, because it's like I don't want to balance my own life in that aspect, and I got to do it to a virtual world version of the same. Like
I don't have the time, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. That's nuts. That's funny though. That's crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I have something. I should be like Alex. I'll go next, despite me being the only person that's left to go.
That book report shit you said last week was so funny.
I'll go next, teacher. You have to go next. So what do you mean? There was actually, I watched a Halo 3 tournament. A game that came out in 2007.
Halo 3.
Randomly had another tournament that was featured on Twitch. They have this thing called Twitch Rivals, where they bring a bunch of streamers together to usually play, games together, play like a little tournament role. There's usually money on the line to be won, things like that. But this was a little different for people that are super into Halo or that know Halo. I love competitive Halo. I competed in Halo for multiple years, and I've really just loved that kind of space. And to see some of these people play this game again brought such a love to my heart. It was hosted by Ninja. Ninja hosted it. It was normally supposed to be. Ninja was also a huge part of the Halo community before he branched off to Fortnite and became a quadrillionaire. He hosted it. It was a $50,000 tournament. He added $100,000 of his own money for this tournament just because he loves watching these people play Halo, because that's how much he loves Halo 3. And I thought that was super awesome. I love people that put their money where their mouth is. He's like, I appreciate this community. Yeah. It's made me who I am today. They deserve some more money. So he went ahead and tripled the prize pool for those players. And that's I'm talking, you have OG players that have been pros that have been playing this game since like Halo 1 came out. They've been professional players since then, came back just to play in this tournament. And I thought that was super fucking cool.
That's cool. Yeah. Kind of like nostalgia a little bit.
Yeah, so much nostalgia. Because I recognize all these names. Like I've played with some of these guys from back in the day. It's so funny seeing these people have like children and real jobs. Some of these people work for game companies now, even though they started out just playing fucking Halo. And it's crazy to see these people go from playing Halo to now working with Bungie or working on Apex Legends or, doing casting still, stuff like that, just staying in the community despite Halo not being in an amazing place competitively at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that brought a little joy to my heart, and it makes me really
That's really cool.
excited.
That's actually really cool.
That is so cool.
For Halo Infinite. So I'm down for it. I love it. I mean, I'm committed now.
I think I'm gonna have to get a PC. I think maybe with the next generation because I do want to be able to play Infinite, and I think that'll be on PC. But
Yeah, it'll be on
there's just a
PC,
lot
and
of
of course
things.
you play it on Xbox if you want to.
I think I'm gonna get a PS5
He says with disgust.
if you
I
want to.
see no reason to
Yeah.
get an Xbox Series XS.
No,
X,
nobody wants
tricky.
that
Whatever
shit.
it's called.
But if you want to, if there are people that are very huge Xbox fans, more power to you. I'd buy a PC
Yeah.
personally.
He said XS tricky.
I don't know what it is anymore. We have the
That's
Xbox
really
One
funny.
X, and there's a Series X, and there's a Series S, and there's an SS. There's one that looks
Yeah.
like a lunchbox. I don't know what's going on anymore. Xbox
Yeah.
they're doing their best.
They're just.
They're
I mean,
doing
they
what they can.
honestly, but they're doing the thing where you can basically anytime that you use like something like just putting an X in a word, you can basically just keep on repeating it and just throwing it in different ways, and like you can just use X multiple times.
But
Like
I
the
hate
next one
that
will be
because
triple
people
X.
are already accidentally buying their children and grandchildren the wrong Xbox because no one knows what the fuck the next system is.
Yeah.
Bad
bad,
at this
bad
guy.
marketing right there. Bad
Xbox
marketing on
360 was
somebody.
already bad enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Xbox
that was pretty
triple X, and it's gonna have Vin Diesel's face on it, and also like
bad.
maybe some,
I'm
some
about to
other
say I
stuff.
instantly went a different route than
And
Triple X.
porn.
But
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, that's probably what most people would think, isn't it? But yeah,
Oh no.
That's
Oh,
I mean,
hilarious.
but you can get that one too. You can get the porn one, or you can get the
Or the Vin
the
Diesel
Vin
one.
Diesel.
I want the porn one. I want the porn one. What color is the porn one? Is it like a weird ass color? What's the color for
I feel
porn?
like purple.
Purple
Yeah,
is porn color.
purple.
You heard it here
Maybe.
first, folks. Purple's porn color.
Maybe like orange, for the hub. Maybe black and orange.
The
I don't know.
I would
What are
love.
we even talking about?
I love a
anymore?
hub colored PlayStation 5.
Oh no. Oh, that's.
Do you
funny.
guys remember?
Oh, with listeners, I wish you heard any of that conversation, but you didn't. So
We're cutting it out.
that's the end of Free For All. We did it once again.
Woo.
We got it. We made it another week, boys. You can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com. Fortress spelled FOUR. Feel free to email us any questions or feedback you have, or any recommendations for Free For All or something like that. Yeah, and then maybe we'll read some stuff. Who knows? You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the Fortress of, and the Fortress of YouTube channel has some stuff up there as well. Don't forget to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat, rate us and review us. Do whatever you want. Go to a full movie theater of right now, I guess, Eternals, and then stop the movie in the middle of it. Go to the booth, stand in front of the projector so you cause a scene, and then just scream the Fortress of to the people down below, and then start the movie again.
And
Just
then when
play
you're
our
arrested,
audio.
tell
Yeah,
the
play
cops
our
to.
audio.
And then when you're arrested, say, I have one thing to say, and it's go listen to the Fortress of.
Use your one phone call to call your grandma back because she wasn't listening the first time, and tell her
Yeah.
to go listen to the first stuff.
You call her and you're like, did you listen yet? You better be listening, Grandma. I swear to God, I'm going to jail, but you better listen right now.
Yeah.
You can also follow me. I exist. I'm somebody. On Facebook at ITZ, by the way. It's by the way. Or you can follow me on Instagram at ITZ_ by the way. And you can follow me on Twitch. I stream sometimes at by the way X.
Mm. And you can follow me at.
All right, like a Marvel mid-credit scene, we are cutting you off real quick before anything actually happens.
I was gonna come up with like just some random combination of X's, to make fun of the Xbox Series X, but
Devin Series X. Box
Devin
X Series.
XL X Lee XXX X capital X
Something in there.
underscore.
360. Thank you, Brian, for the art. Thank you, Alex, for the music. Devin, thank you for being here as usual. And Jackie, thank you for helping edit the podcast every week. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
Whatever holiday it may be
holidays.
for you at this time.
Yeah, we
And,
actually hung up Christmas lights, so happy holidays.
You did it wrong.
That's-
You're doing it
That's
wrong.
crazy, dude. I don't know why you put Christmas lights up for Arbor Day. That's fucking weird. Right, Jade?
Put a coat on. It's cold out there.
Jade said hello, everybody.
Oh, our first appearance.
Oh, no,
Although
she's about
we've
to,
heard her
she's
like
about
a
to
million
kick
times
me off
beforehand.
the call.
Wait, are we
Oh,
cutting?
no.
Are we cut?
No, we can't cut until Brian says his catchphrase.
What's my catchphrase? I love tax time. I don't love tax time. I love tax
That
time.
works too. All right, we'll see you next week in another episode of The Fortress of.